Oh, we knew this conversation was coming. Let's talk about Gambit. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. I wanted to talk about the current state of Gambit because if you've jumped into the game mode the last couple of weeks, you've clearly seen some major changes to the overall way that the game mode plays. And for many people, that has been kind of frustrating. I don't even know where to start when it comes to talking about Gambit, but we'll start by saying that Gambit, the new update, the changes that Bungie has made recently to state of the game mode definitely seem to have taken it into kind of a backslide. Gambit has definitely needed some work over the last couple of seasons. I mean, that is undeniable, but it's almost hard to feel like the state of the game, in the game mode as it stands, was better before the updates. And in many ways, based on the changes that I've seen, it definitely feels as though the game mode itself has gone backwards in terms of reverting back to some of the old things that people didn't like the first time. And I'm sure what you're thinking, well, Rye, what do you mean by that? To start, I will say that when we used to play Gambit, there used to be health bars, the kind of health gates. Or what do they call them? Immune phases. And basically during these phases, you can't damage the boss. You have to go to two separate parts of the map and kill some wizards, and then you go to the other side, kill some wizards over there, and then you do the boss and repeat. And that used to really frustrate people because it's kind of just an unneeded thing. And I know why Bungie put it in, right? They put it in so that you couldn't melt the boss. But it started to become frustrating for players because while you're doing those things, you can also be invaded. And in any sense, in any case, in any scenario, when you get invaded, and let's say they kill 2 or 3 of your teammates, that boss's health goes back to the start. You do that again, and now you're back to the immune phase once again. And so basically what this was creating was an endless kind of fight where it felt like you were just going on and on. And I've been in a couple games where my teammates have basically just quit. They've just said, you know what, they'll either sit in the back of the map and just kind of wait it out, let the other team just win, or they'll back out and just leave and take the L. And I can't even be mad at them. Like, I get it. I understand. It's an incredibly frustrating experience for a lot of players to be put in a situation where it just feels like it's just never ending. So fast forwarding from that point, they made the changes to Gambit where you could basically melt the boss again and do that kind of stuff. And it wasn't perfect. But over the last couple of months, it was definitely better than the previous state of Gambit. But now you look at it, they've kind of gone back to that for some reason. And not only that, they've added an increased drop rate of heavy ammo. So I think after you clear the first room, a box will appear right outside the area that you kill the enemies, and now you get a chance to get some heavy ammo. So basically, when you go to invade, people would have 3 or 4, rounds of truth ready to go. Sleeper, Gallahorn, whatever you want, all the meta weapons. And they would just go to town because they'd have heavy ammo. Whereas before, heavy ammo was much more difficult to come by. So basically, I say all that to say that the current state of Gambit in those two regards have really hurt the game mode. Now, I don't want to make this video and give off the impression that I don't like Gambit. I think Gambit, for the sake of Gambit and the sake of the game, I feel like Gambit needs to go away and give them time to really just figure everything out, and then maybe do a resurgence like what they did with Trials, except don't take 7 years to bring Trials back, or bring Gambit back like they did with Trials, but instead, like, maybe you take it away for a couple months and they actually make some changes to how the game mode is, like completely redo it from the ground up, keep some of the basic components of what Gambit is, but maybe change some things so that it's a bit more interactive. Maybe it's a bit more team oriented. I don't know. Some things that immediately come to the top is if they took away the invader option and added, maybe some sort of puzzle or something like that. Or perhaps maybe they have a, 1v1 kind of invasion mode. Or, people were talking about that before. They said, oh, it'd be nice if there was like a Gambit gulag where, if you're killed, you have a chance to like fight your way back or do a 1v1 and get yourself back into the game or something like that. And I thought that was such an interesting concept. So basically, like, on either side, you can invade one side, and let's say you got 2 kills, right? They're both now in the gulag. and the only way that they can get out is if their team invades and gets a kill or something, and then they, you know, whoever is in the jail basically would fight each other for a chance to get out and get back to help their squad. I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure how that will work. Obviously, that is just a very it's a very baseline idea, but I think it has potential. You know, or combining it with a PvP mode, like what is that? The old mode that they used to have where you dunk the ball. I think that's coming back. I think it was called like Blitz or something like that. Like if they had that in there in some capacity or something. I think there's a lot of potential for what Gambit could be. I just feel like the amount of evasions, the amount of heavy ammo, the immune phases, all of those just completely work against creating a fluid and cohesive experience for the player. And so with the current state of Gambit, I just feel like they really need to take a hard look at it or just take it away. I think that's really what it's come down to, because Gambit has gone through so many iterations. If you guys have been playing through the launch of Gambit, which happened at like Joker's Wild, like maybe 2 years ago at this point, it was, you know, it's going through some rough patches. And then they brought in that other mode that you could go, so you do Gambit and then you go to do the other mode so you can get the armor, so you can come back to do more Gambit with an even higher advantage because you had armor that was, you know, that boosted up your abilities and things like that. Like, man, Gambit has had some rough goes at it. And given all of the current changes that they made that kind of made Gambit worse, in combination with the fact that there is no new Gambit mode or Gambit map, it just feels like Gambit is not really the priority. And as a PvE player, I do very much enjoy the idea that PvE is the focus and the mindset of Bungie. But I still care about PvP. I still want to see Gambit succeed. So as someone who kind of plays and jumps into all these different pools, I definitely want to see some variety, because let's be honest, even if you're a PvE player, you don't want to do strikes all the time. You don't want to do raids all the time. You don't want to do nightfalls, you know, all the time. Sometimes you want to jump into PvP. You know, and for myself, sometimes I like to jump into Gambit to get the Gambit weapons or armor or whatever. And given the current state of the game, it's not optimal. It's not optimal to jump into Gambit right now. But that's kind of my feeling of it. I feel like it's not that I want them to take it away because I don't like the mode. I just think it really needs some help. It really needs some help. But honestly, that's just one fire of a billion, right? PvP still needs help. We still need new PvP maps and all that. So obviously there's a lot that Bungie still has to do to improve the state of these two pinnacle, you know, game modes within Destiny. But yeah, I just wanted to give my general thoughts and feelings and consensus on the state of the game. I think that Gambit has a lot of potential. I still believe in it. I still think that there's a lot that could benefit, you know, how it can benefit the world of Destiny as a potential game mode. But yeah, it definitely needs some time in the oven. It needs a revamp, and I hope that it gets it soon, you know. But we have a full year of Witch Queen. We'll definitely see how the game progresses, the game mode progresses, and see what changes are made throughout the seasons leading up to Lightfall. But yeah, definitely agree that it needs work. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. What is your feelings on Gambit? How do you feel about the current state of the game? Do you feel like it needs help, or do you feel like it's just fine? And if you do think it needs help, what changes do you think should be given to the game mode first for it to, you know, begin to succeed? Would you think new maps? Are you thinking maybe new alternative modes, new Gambit themed modes, but they're like alternates? You know, freelance Gambit modes that are kind of, you know, like Trials Labs, experimental. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll be looking for your feedback and looking to continue this discussion. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, dropping a like is very much helpful. Share the video, like it, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you become a part of the family. And until then, I hope you're safe. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.